Dance with the Spirit early in the morning. Walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way. Dance with the Spirit early in the morning, and walk with the Spirit throughout the long day. Work and hope for the new life upborn, and listen to the Spirit to show you the way.
We are so grateful to the Strathdys who've made a bunch of videos available to us to share, and I could feel the energy from those images. So I got back in Ontario time late at night, the other night at our beautiful airport. So on my watch, it was saying 3:30, but that's because it thought it was still in Waterloo, Ontario. So you can figure out exactly how tired I was at that moment. Waiting for my suitcase, I heard drumming. And then I heard singing. And I saw a beautiful circle of welcome. Somebody was coming. I think I've since found out that there was a powwow. And that's who was arriving late at the night. Also, I'm sure, as tired as I was, but the connection and the uplift was just beautiful. So in that psalm, that well-known psalm, Joy Comes in the Morning, a well-known psalm that Robin read for us, thank you. There's an opening line at the top of it that says that God healed us. And I just wanted to take a little moment, a few words, Tammy, to talk about healing, because it's one of those things that many people abuse in Christianity, because we all know, we know once we're 11 years old, not everybody gets healed. If by healing you mean returned to exactly as they were before they broke their leg, before they got sick, before they got discouraged. And so we've wanted to look at that word healing in terms of the work, for example, that's done in palliative care, the work that's done in healing touch, the work that's done in prayer teams. Because we've come to understand, haven't we, as we spiritually grow and explore this, that healing doesn't mean cured. It doesn't mean God cured me. It meant just, it was amazing to hear Tammy use the words that their feeling of not being alone. That is so healing for us in our own journeys. And so if you ever get to a chance to see a powwow, you might be given the opportunity to see the jingle dance, where the dresses are decorated with things that jingle. And that's about, the image there is about being healed, not cured, but healed by the presence, by the sound of the drum. I once was told that hearing a drum beat is like hearing a second heart within you. What an power powerful, powerful image. And so when you read that psalm, the temptation might be to say, well, that hasn't happened. People say to me, are you limping today? So let's be clear, yeah, I've been limping for a long time, but I feel like my leg is pretty good, compared to what it was. So we do adjust because we are reassured that we're not alone, even if we're not cured. We can say we are healed. People who have been discouraged, depressed, or in grief, there is a Jewish image that you're like a bicycle missing a spoke. So the wheel goes round, flat, round, flat. You're still going forward, but you are forever changed. Our compassion requires of us to get rid of that old traditional interpretation of why God wouldn't have healed someone. That's just so not the God that Jesus talked about. We're invited then to see healing in a whole new way where we all get to be practitioners. We all get to be recipients. It's not by certificate and it's not by giving a credential. It's by being open-hearted and sitting with somebody, providing that connection that they know that they are not alone. God incarnate, given to us in Jesus and in so many other places, is that reminder. The incarnate Spirit with us is what lifts us, even at the end of our lives. And so this psalm needs to be buffed into the 21st century by our understanding, asking ourselves, what does it mean to be healed by the power of the love of God? It does mean, doesn't it, that no matter what happens to us, we feel we are not alone. I believe that that is the wonderful, wonderful gift of the Holy and Sacred Spirit. And so in Matthew Fox's writings, which we've been looking at, he talks about the via negativa, the walk through the hard times. And that's certainly reflected in the psalm, right? Where the psalmist says, will it be any good if I just fall apart here? The via negativa is something that we want to acknowledge we almost all go through. Almost all of us have had a time where we would say we're walking the hard road. The first path of life is the via positiva, the joyful road. I pray that we can all say we've also walked that joyful road. And so the final path that Matthew Fox talked about and wrote about is the via creativa, where we are creative in our responses to both the positive and the hard days. And in that creativity, we find our partnership with other people, of other faiths, of other traditions, with nature, as we saw in the Strathie video, and with the sacred Spirit within us, between us, and among us. As we heard Tammy say to us this morning, there is much that is still to be worked on to be healed. There's also much healing that has happened as we dedicate ourselves to being part of that via creativa, that people open-hearted, willing to do the work, willing to weave together everything required to help move us forward. I believe that that is going to be for us as a congregation and as individuals, the healing path. May it be so for us. Amen.